Hi everyone. So Pixel 6 is a dream phone for a lot of people. I think this is the phone that people have been asking from Google for a long time. A true flagship phone with flagship features and flagship design. The camera was not the biggest problem with Google Pixel, but I think everything has changed now. Like I said, it's a dream phone for a lot of people, at least on paper. And because of the availability, a lot of people might not be able to try it. They will be relying on the videos and the experience of other people. But I want to say one thing, this is not the phone that you are dreaming of. It does not feel like a Pixel phone. Pixel were rather simple and ugly looking until the Pixel 4a came, but they had that matte finish, that dual tone design, and that accent button. So that distinguished the Pixel from other phones. Yes, the new design is bold, Google is brave, but it's not practical for a lot of people. See, it's a big phone, and I know a lot of people like big phones, but this phone is unusually large, wide, and bulky. Pixel in the past always had smaller phone, even though the battery sucked on those phones, but there was an option. There's no doubt the build of this phone is premium, but I'm still not sure about the look and feel of the phone. I honestly prefer the Pixel 5 design over this phone. So if Pixel 5 came with the Tensor chip, a better dual speakers, I would choose that phone over this any day. To be honest, I had really high expectation of this phone, and the first thing I had really high expectation of was the software redesign. So we'll talk about that first. It is a major redesign after a long time. It sure feels refreshing. The animations are good and the phone feels really intuitive. But somehow I think in the redesign the functionality has been overshadowed. As I mentioned, it's a big phone and software does not work in the favor of it. Yes, the settings and some buttons are redesigned to work better with one hand, but somehow it still feels difficult to use this phone with one hand. I still think that Samsung one hand mode is a little bit better than this iPhone style one hand mode. I like the new widget, they're clean, polished, and the new rounded edges, but I'm not really a fan of that quick panel. And why hide that perfect Wi-Fi and mobile button in a single setting? I mean, it was not hurting anyone. And there are some bugs where they need to address, like YouTube doesn't go in full screen mode, and sometimes screen goes blank. I mean, you can just only see wallpaper when I switch between dark and light mode. I guess that's the problem with the redesign. They get old pretty soon. Like if you change the wallpaper, the accent color will change. It was good for some days, but now I don't care about it. I mean, it's a good design. I'm not saying that it's a really good redesign, at least much better than iOS 15 changes. But still, I think that functionality is something that lasts over a little longer. I really like the new security feature that you can turn off the camera and mic completely, and the new privacy dashboard is there. But I think Google needs to improve a lot of things in this OS. For example, I would love to see some control over notifications so that application only send notification when I allow it to, and there will be control over third-party applications so that they don't eat battery in the background. Which reminds me of another thing that I had really high expectations of, and that is the battery life. But I think I'm kind of disappointed. The problem is it is kind of inconsistent. So the battery backup, like I said, in the background, the standby is not really good. So I installed an application Paytm and I didn't even sign in. And overnight it drained 20% of battery. And sometimes YouTube does the same. And right now an IMS service of Pixel Launcher is doing the same with my phone. So the standby is really bad. With the continuous use, I can get 6 hours of screen on time on a light day and with social media and everything. But yeah, I really had high expectation because it has a 4600 milliampere battery. So I think that disappointed me a little bit. That's the reason I was saying Google should control the background application a little bit more. And if any brand in Android can do it, I think Google should be the one doing it because now they have their own hardware and the new chip. But yes, the hardware is something that makes this phone the best value flagship right now. Yes, it did not disappoint me at all. I had some high expectation and I think it's working perfectly fine for me. Yes, I've seen a lot of people where they are complaining about the throttling of this phone. I did not face any of that. This phone doesn't get warm. I know it's winter, but I think my experience has been really good with this phone. It is buttery smooth and the experience is just top notch. There are some bugs here and there in Android 12, but it has nothing to do with the performance of this phone. And I will not even consider this a gaming phone because I think it's really comfortable holding this phone while gaming. But if you want to play games on it, I don't think you'll be disappointed as well. If you get a phone with 90 Hz refresh rate, stock Android, and Tensor chip, I think this is the best combination you can get right now in an Android phone. In my overview video, I talked about that the fingerprint sensor on this phone is not that bad. I was wrong. It is bad, it is slow, and it doesn't recognize my finger many of the times now. Like I'm getting 6 out of 10 accuracy nowadays, and especially if I wash my hands or there's some moisture on my hand, I somehow it does not work for me. So I think after Samsung optical fingerprint sensor, this is the worst experience I have had with a in-display fingerprint sensor. I didn't get any update to fix that fingerprint sensor because a lot of people were getting it, although I've seen it's still not great. And I'm still waiting for the fix for my pink tint display. Because of that, I have switched to the light mode. It is weird, but at least I'm not seeing those weird green and pink tint on my gray background. I guess that's the only issue I have with the display. Apart from that, I have no complaint. It is a good display. I like the colors. They're not accurate and it's a little bit saturated, but I don't think people really care about the accuracy of a display on a phone. It is not a brightest panel, but it can go really dim, and there's an extra dim mode in the quick panel. So when it comes to media experience, I think this is a really good phone. The 6.4-inch flat panel with the dual speakers, it's a great combination. It's really hard to show that experience on the camera itself, but I have recorded a sound sample in my overview video, so you can check that out. Apart from that, the haptic motor and the feedback from the OS will take the experience to the next level. Honestly, if it's not about the size, I really don't have a solid complaint against this phone. I mean, I can nitpick a lot of things like the auto brightness is not really good. I mean, it has been finicky with all the Google phones. But when I think about the price, I say to myself, just shut up and enjoy the phone. Because I can't really think of any phone in this $599 that I can actually recommend to you guys over this phone. But there's one major part left which makes Pixel a Pixel device, and that is the Google camera. And this time, not only me, many of the people were expecting a lot from this camera because after 5 years they have changed the sensor. It's now a new 50 megapixel sensor. So let's talk about that. See, even though camera has been improved, but I wouldn't call it groundbreaking. I like this as a point and shoot camera, and for most of the part the photos coming out of it are crisp. The face blur feature is really good. But I feel the images are being overprocessed now. I think Pixel binning from that 50 megapixel to 12 megapixel and the Google processing over it makes the photo looks a little bit over sharpened. Even in portrait mode, it looks unreal sometimes. I think the reason I'm conflicted with this camera because as a normal consumer, I like the pictures. I mean, I like the oversaturated part sometimes. I like the over sharpened part sometimes. But as a content creator, I like to look at the normal pictures. I mean, they are natural, which I can actually relate to the moment. Video have also improved in this camera, especially the audio recording, but it's still not on iPhone or Samsung level. Color are still oversaturated and there are a lot of jitters in the videos. See, if it's all about recommendation, I can recommend this phone to anyone. Yes, the fingerprint sensor is not very good and the size is a little bit big, but I think you can get away with it. So if you can get it in your country, I think you should get it. But if you're someone who's going to import this phone, I think you should think about it because if anything happens to this phone, you won't be able to repair it. Also, paying extra custom duty for this phone might not be worth it. If you have any question, feel free to ask here or you can follow me on Twitter. And if you are looking for alternative for this phone, I think you should wait for Samsung S22 series because right now I can't think of any phone, at least Android phone that can compete with this phone with this price. Thank you for your time. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.